here tonight with my brother from another mother, my cousin from another cousin, Pope Grimy.
Cousin from another cousin. Cousin. Brother.
We know about cousins, don't we, brother?
What's up?
We are joined tonight. We are blessed tonight to have Tacoma Comics with us.
Cousin.
Welcome, brother. We know about cousins, don't we, brother?
All right. Yeah. So I just.
We're joined tonight. We're blessed tonight to have Tacoma. Mute that.
I'm on a delay here with my phone. I gotta go out. Sorry about that. I'm hearing your reintroduction twice, so I'll turn my phone off for now. Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, guys. This is awesome. My brother from another mother has been living with me the month of June and July. He and his wife just moved here, so I hear you. I'm really psyched to be here. I've got the Jim Beam kind of melting the ice there. And then I got a couple Lagunitas sucks. So I'm ready to do this right. I think
you are.
We'll have comics too, right? Because I got the beers. I'll have to find some comics. But
heck yeah, we'll break out some books here. I got starting tonight. I'm gonna have a little Devil's Backbone with me here tonight. So little real ale here.
Triple, nice.
From little Texas brewing here. So
sounds good.
If I was a prophet, I would say that my good friend Pope there is rocking a Sam Adams.
Actually, not today, brother.
What?
I'm actually doing a Yingling Black and Tan.
Oh, so the Yingling, man.
Yingling.
That was like one of the few beers my wife liked. And when we moved from New York to the West Coast, Yingling's got some weird licensing thing. They aren't sold in like more than a few states. You can't get them much further outside of like Pennsylvania and the East Coast. They're like, you can't buy a Yingling here. When my parents gave me their old car, or I bought their old car, I actually put a 6-pack of Yingling in the trunk and shipped it across the country. Because you can't get those in Washington. So that's pretty cool.
Well, that's nice, man. I guess we'll have to go to Kentucky. That's probably closer to me than you, since you're in Washington State.
Yeah.
And I'm not. I was kind of bummed, like, back in March when I went to the ECCC, because I wanted to, I didn't really know you at the time, but I wanted to try and connect with you, and I kind of sent you, like, a weird message, because that's what I do. It's like, hey, I'm going to be in the area. What's up, bro?
Well, I'll tell you, I was just getting into community then, and I was a little, like, who are these people? I didn't embrace what the community was all about and how it could just be like, real meetings of real people. So I probably ignored that message. I read it, but I didn't I had my ECC planned.
Right? Yeah.
I didn't have like the time, and I really kick myself for that now. Now that I know you, I wish that I'd kind of gone back and been like, oh man, that would have been cool to hang with people. Because Bueller came up to me and I was just at a back issue bin, and he's like, hey, are you Tacoma Comics? I'm like, hey, yeah. And I'm horrible with faces. So he's like, I'm Bueller. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And that was when he was just starting out. Now he's at 1,000 subscribers. So that was really cool too.
Yeah, he's like surpassed all of us.
Yeah. Yeah, as well.
You guys at the coffee shop.
Videos a week, man. He should be surpassing me.
Yeah, he has good stuff, man. He's a good guy. I've gotten to know him a little bit through some private chats and whatnot. And yeah, he's good stuff. So who do we have in the chat so far tonight? Anyone exciting?
We got
exciting.
Got the great legend.
What?
Miss Hustle. What's going on, guys?
Man. We got Miss Hustle early, Legend early. Man, you guys are come to play hard tonight. Well, I gotta tell you, I'm gonna be giving away something fun tonight. I've been dating it for a while, so I'm excited.
You're gonna have to excuse me for a second. I have a student that needs my help.
Is that like code word for more beer? I'm not really sure.
No, I work at a college. I actually have a student that needs my help.
Well, hey, you go take care of your students, and Ian and I will hold down the fort here.
We can handle it. I just finished the Jim Beam, and I got a beer going, so we're good.
Yeah, there you go. See? I got my own students to take care of. It's called beer.
My students don't come back till September.
What's that?
My students don't come back till September. I'm good.
Oh, nice. Are you a professor?
No. I'm a middle school robotics teacher.
Oh, well, that's close enough.
Yeah, same thing, right?
All right, that's all. It's all relative. So yeah, so for me, man, this week has been pretty crazy. Just you know, doing all kinds of stuff and kind of did some organizing around the house and whatnot. But I didn't get to read as much as I wanted to this week, so I know I had intentions of talking about a few books, but tonight I'm only going to get to talk about one book, and I'm going to show off a book that I got in the mail yesterday from a guy on Facebook. So that'll be kind of cool to do a small haul, and I know you got tons of stuff to talk about that you and on your little vacation, so that'll be cool to see what you got going on. And I know Sean's got a few things. Excuse me, Pope Grimy has got a few things that he's going to talk about as well. So I look forward to seeing him when he gets back. So as our guest tonight, why don't you kick off what you've been up to this week? What you picked up?
All right. So, you know, if you've been following my channel, you know I'm in the middle of a prolonged move. We're all set, but we're not closing for 2 weeks. So there's nothing here. But I've been hitting half price books and building up. Like, we got literally one bookshelf. I don't have any short boxes left, but I still have plenty of time to go to half price books and get stuff. So first thing I want to show is this awesome run I got. Solo Avengers, starring Hawkeye and a little bit of everybody and everything, man. And this is just really, really cool. So this I'm using my notes as a coaster. Hold on a second, I gotta move the beer. So this first one is Hawkeye and Mockingbird. And most of these are like in 8.0s or even like 8.5s, you know, for 25 cents each. They're pretty cool. This one, Jim Lee did the artwork on this, which I thought was pretty darn cool. And it's just all these great Marvel characters like Hawkeye and B-rate, you know, B character, well, Captain Marvel, but this is when Monica Rambeau was Captain Marvel, so it's a little bit older. So it's Hawkeye and Captain Marvel in that one. And this one is I don't know if it's the origin of Hawkeye, but down here below my finger, they're talking about like the history of Hawkeye, or you'll find out more about where he came from and all that stuff. You know, and if you look inside these, it's really cool. They've got like the way they used to do in Marvel back in the 80s, they list the artist and the writer and everybody. But then at the end of some of them, it says, and the reader is you. So incredibly dorky, but that's the way Marvel used to be when I was growing up. So here's Hawkeye and Moondragon, and Moondragon is absolutely just an awesome character, totally indistinguishable from the Ancient One in Doctor Strange. You know, another bald-headed white chick with a large earring, but very cool. I'm just going to run through these now. Hawkeye and the Wasp, Hawkeye and Black Widow, plus She-Hulk and Titania. They're at the bottom.
Titania.
There you go. I didn't know she had a theme song.
Yeah.
We heard Hawkeye and Wonder Man, Holocaust in Hollywood, and a battle with the Bullet Biker. I mean, the alliteration is just something that, you know, Pope wouldn't let his college kids get away with, let alone me and my middle school student. So number 12, right? This looks like just Hawkeye and Yellow Jacket with the Abomination, but Amanda Conner was on the art in this back in 1987.
Really?
Yeah. So some cool.
I'm not a huge Amanda Conner fan personally, but that didn't look like. What did she do interiors?
Let me see. It's on my notes, which are also my coaster. So there's a little bit of like condensation from the beer. Let's see where I got her name from, or if I'm just making it up and you caught me. Well, she's not on the main one. So there's two stories in each of these. The first story is a Hawkeye story, and then the second story is like, and this one is going to be the Yellow Jacket. So.
Sorry.
Yeah. Amanda Conner, penciler.
That is so crazy.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it is actually cool because that's like, I mean,
that's like 87, I think, right? 75 cents, Marvel.
Yeah, that's like, it had to be like early Amanda Conner stuff. Then.
November '88, yeah. And she was at Rose City 2 years ago with Palmiotti, but man, it was too long a line to see them. You know, keep going. You got a little Hercules action here. Hawkeyes and Hercules. The alliteration just works out itself there. And so I got everything except for number 8. I don't even know who Dr. Druid is, but Lee Weeks is on this one, on the art. I don't know if he's on the cover, but he's the artist inside. Hawkeye and Hellcat. Again, more alliteration. That's just natural. Sorry. Mad Dogs and Mystery Men. And you can't make this stuff up, right? If you said this was what was going on, there's Black Widow. And the Falcon and Red Skull are in this one. And Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch right here. And my son's in the other room. He heard Red Skull, and we just watched Infinity War, so he's all about that.
Nice.
Black Knight. And last one here, number 2 or number 3, Hawkeye and Moon Knight, which I thought was pretty cool. So I mean, it's just this crazy group of B-list characters starring with Hawkeye in this series that I never knew existed, even when I was that was the time I was collecting comics, 88, 87, 89. But that just blew me away seeing those quarter each. Some really, we got Jim Lee, Chris Claremont wrote, I think, this number 16. Lee Weeks, Amanda Connor. It's just crazy seeing all these like really old school or current artists where they started way back then. Like you can do the B story in a B comic, that nobody's reading, starring a B member of the Avengers. So I just thought that was really cool.
Well, to me, it's kind of interesting because, like, I don't know if you're a sports fan or not, but you just take like for me, I got into football back in the 90s. I was a huge Peyton Manning fan. As like a teenager, so I started following the Colts and Peyton Manning's career, and it kind of became a thing, right? Well, his career, he starts and it has an end. Whereas with like in the comic industry, these people have been doing art forever. Like these writers have been around forever. These artists, and it's kind of cool the ones that stay with it because they have such longevity. And I would love to compare Amanda Connor's artwork now versus where she started, because
right.
It was way better back then. I'm just not a fan of her art nowadays. Like it's just not my thing. But good on her. She can do something I can't, but I just don't particularly care for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I just want to check the chat here. You've got Niobe showed up. He's a 43-year-old teenager, so he's like 3 years younger than me. Three Men in the Basement, Comics and Collectibles. I just subbed you up, guys. Sub each other up. Check the chat up and down. See if there's somebody you don't know, man. Give everybody those sub numbers. It's not about the numbers, but it's always nice to have the people are there and checking your channel. I see Farley's here. Farley's always on my live shows. I just started doing live shows because they're easier.
They are. They really are. Like
sometimes it's not like a live show where I've like got a theme and I got people on. Pope without a hat. Pope, put the hat on. Put the hat on.
No glasses either. What the hell's happening?
Nobody saw that, right?
There we go. There we go.
Guys, I'm gonna have to bail. I have to go help a student that's in a mess right now.
All right, man.
But hopefully it'll only take me maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes. But I'll try. Drink them for me because I'm gonna have to hold off until I get.
Chug before you drive, man. Chug before you drive.
It's not blood alcohol if it's in your bladder.
Hold the fort down, guys.
Hey, we'll see ya. We'll see ya. So
later.
Just be safe. Take care of them.
The show is more sober.
Yeah, and I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there. If anyone, I know there's only a few people out here so far tonight before the party gets started here, but we'll probably make sure I put the link up for the after party if anyone wants to join tonight. I know the last couple of weeks I kind of messed it up on one occasion, but hey, it turns out I'm not perfect. I know that's a shocker to most of you. But yeah, I thought for sure I was until last week, but I'll make sure I get it right. So if anyone wants to join the after party tonight, I'll make sure I post it properly before the show ends, not afterwards. So anyways, with that being said, yeah, you got a few months ago, I actually had the Hawkeye and Mockingbird #1. That was kind of a fun read. Like I just kind of read it, and then I ended up giving it away in one of my little giveaways that we do. So speaking of that, I'm going to show just a quick little hint here for later on. This is going to be later tonight, just so you guys know that are watching. Later tonight, I'm going to be giving away this lovely commission piece here of Power Girl. So for those of you in the chat, stay tuned. This will be coming your way later. Anyways, but yeah, I've had just a lot going on. With work and everything, I kind of got offered a new position yesterday on my day off and a raise, so that was kind of cool. So I gotta make that decision by probably Monday or so. But anyways, yeah, we got some guy named Tacoma Comics in the chat.
What up, everybody?
I got J Rod M78 is in the chat. What's going on, J Rod? Gomez, what's up, Gomez? Woo, woo, woo. I'm gonna like verbalize the In My Warriors sound effect machine there. So, what else? Got anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? I think we were covered there. So, did you? Oh, we missed Roman Curtis. I missed Roman Curtis. What's up, Roman Curtis? So yeah, that's what we got going on right now. What do you got going on? Yeah, did you get a chance to read anything exciting this week?
Yeah, dude. So I literally, like I said, I got back from vacation this yesterday, and it's been a long day today. We went out to Seattle, go to dim sum with the family, but I got a new one here that I'm really excited about. Been blowing up in my Twitter feed because people I follow are all into this, but this is The Seeds. And this is by David Aja, who was on Hawkeye with Matt Fraction, that really popular run back in 2012, and Ann Nocenti, who's been around Marvel for like forever, right? So if you read Marvel back 20, 30 years ago, she was on that. She was on some of those Hawkeyes I just showed. But it's a really, really kind of dark, you know, it reminds me of old Vertigo stuff in terms of, and it's Karen Berger doing like her own Vertigo thing at Dark Horse right now. She's the editor. So the artwork is kind of like this whole kind of two-tone artwork here, which is pretty cool. Blacks and grays and whites, which is three tones, but we're not counting. We're just talking. Shut up, everybody. Stop judging me. Right. But the idea here is there's some sort of futuristic society where there's a wall, and all you hear about the other side of the wall is what the people on your side tell you. So they say, like, on this side, everything's super tech. Everybody's got like total connection. There's like, you know, 24/7 drugs and thrills and rides and smog alerts and toxic alerts. And everybody walks around with a gas mask on around their, you know, neck so they can put up to their throat. But on the other side of the wall, it's supposed to be a place without tech, a lawlessness, an anarchistic place. But you don't really know if that's true. So this one journalist, she wants to go over there and find out what's going on. She's bugging her editor to let her go over there, and she's trying to follow a story to like make her editor happy, because her editor is just this woman who's like, hey, if it doesn't sell papers, I don't want it. My name's J. Jonah Jameson, but I'm a female version. So she, you know, she definitely, you know, wants the money, wants the big story. But it's really cool. What happens is the story this journalist finds is that there are people coming over, and we see this slowly revealed before she finds out, that are actually here to kill off humankind. And so what they're doing is they're collecting seeds. And it seems to be an alien race whose job is to either find a culture that's dying and collect their seeds to then sell on some intergalactic market, or to hasten the death of a culture. And so as a reader, we're left not knowing if they know something about this world, that they're going to collect the seeds because it's dying, or if like the powers that be have sent the collectors there to help hasten the death of the world and collect the seeds to then make the money off of them on some intergalactic seed market where Earth seeds are worth a lot. So they're collecting bees, and they're collecting honey and queen bees and seeds and stuff. And it's just really cool, man. It grabbed my attention. I heard it was really good, and it's really grabbed my attention so far. Like,
sounds like, I mean, you know, might have to trade that one and get the graphic novel or the trade paperback, because that sounds like something I would like. I mean, you know, you got the seed capsule over there in Norway. That's kind of interesting, right? Like, it kind of, you know,
it's a similar idea, except hopefully that's not up for sale.
Right. Well, I mean, nothing would surprise me anymore in this world. But really quick, we got Brandon Sawinski joined us. Hey, what's up, Brandon?
J-Rod says I look like Walter White. Sorry to interrupt, but yeah, I've heard that before. I'm going to grab the hat at some point and get the goatee going just right. But yeah, it's been commented upon.
We'll turn this into comics and meth or something like that. I mean, that'll be the next thing, and I'll have you on as a dealer.
There you go.
C. Woodard talked about Aha's artwork. Now, if I remember correctly, I think Aha had some really badass variants for Daredevil, like some really expensive, like the Lady Bullseye, if I'm not mistaken. It's like almost all white. It was a beautiful, beautiful variant, but that thing goes for like $100. So, if I remember correctly. Sometimes I don't remember correctly.
Yeah, he does good work with that two-tone. Like if you look at the Hawkeye coverage, it's like the
Yeah.
purple and white almost all the way through.
And also, I guess I know he did some work for the Iron Fist as well. I know those are some pretty popular, popular covers he did. Yeah, so kind of like in comic news, I guess I don't really have an agenda tonight. We're just kind of free, just kind of wing it tonight, have some fun, talking about books, talking about whatever. But one thing I was going to talk about that I noticed this week, I'm a huge fan of Saga.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a new friend. If they're watching tonight,
I didn't read it. I opened it, and the page I opened it to before we started live, I know who died. So go ahead and say.
No, I haven't read it yet. I'm not going to spoil it. I haven't read it.
I just opened the page, like, and it fell open to the middle staple, and I'm like, shit. Now I know who died. So I grabbed 2 issues, but yeah.
No, I need to. I have to read it. But I was going to say is I don't know if you guys saw in the chat or wherever that they're taking a 1-year hiatus from Saga.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a shock to me. Like I think it's like after issue 54, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So I'm like, oh crap. I mean, I got some catching up to do anyways. But I just hope that that's just a little blurb. Like they just need to recharge their batteries and get back at it. But
that's what it sounds like. Because Paper Girls is going on a 6-month hiatus. I heard.
It makes you wonder like. I don't know. I'm always what's going on behind the scenes? What's leading to this madness?
So you could sometimes I think maybe they're just being honest. Like all these indies, they're like, hey, I need to take a break. They did that with Lazarus. Greg Rucker went in and handed over the reins for this side project of Lazarus X plus 66, like 6-issue thing. And then he came back with his artist, and he's like, all right, we're doing 2 more issues, and we're going to just trade only. So that's a really interesting thing is comics that are going to trade only. Lazarus is going to trade only. So they're going to put 4 issues out a year, but they're only as like trade paperbacks. Astro City is doing the same thing. There's 52 is the last issue of Astro City. Now they're going to like an original graphic novel format. Right here, Rick Remender on 7 to Eternity. This has been missing for 6 months or so, right? I just picked this up, and I had to, I had to do the whole first page, our story so far that I usually skip. But I was like, I forget what happened. I remember it was really good, but let me just refresh myself. So yeah, that whole taking a break and the whole switching format is a different part of that, but might be kind of wrapped up somewhere and connected somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I can get that. Those guys, a lot of them, they're on so many different books. I mean, especially the writers. I mean, Rick Remender. I mean, how many books does that dude write per month?
Yeah.
It's just crazy how, and I know they don't get paid like artists do, but still, it's like you only have so many hours in a day.
Yeah. So Woodard just said Brian Vaughn must be planning one hell of a bender.
You know what? That wouldn't surprise me at all. But at the same time, he's not. He is yet to disappoint me in anything that I've read from his work. So, Saga to me is probably one of my favorite books of all time. Personally, it's just something I really enjoy. Lazarus, I really enjoy Lazarus. I'm way behind, but I was just doing the trade, because there for a while I was so behind on a lot of those Image titles. And the thing with Image is as soon as it comes out and it gets hot, you can never get an issue #1 to save your life. Unless they start doing those dollar reprints or what have you,
right?
Which are fine. But Lazarus, I was actually able to find. I did pick up an issue 1 not too long ago in a $1 box, so that was an actual legitimate first print issue 1. So, surprise. But yeah. So what's everyone else got going on tonight in the chat? Let's see. We got Saga does what 9-10 don't. I don't know what that means. Saga is it's not done for the year, Bueller. It's like issue 54. I don't know, is that the one just came out though, or is that 53?
No, 54 just came out.
Oh, it is. Okay.
That's the one with the death. I won't tell you who.
Right. Don't do
I grabbed 2 copies, and yeah, they said they're going on a year break.
Yeah, that's too bad. I mean, well, again, it gives me time to catch up, and maybe some new readers to catch up and whatnot. So, if maybe if we can get Brian K. Vaughan to come on Comics and Cold Ones and tell us all about it.
There you go. So, Niobe says that it's cheaper to print and trade, and you get more of a story. And I'm thinking we're going to see more people going that way. This whole idea, because comics are declining. Old middle-aged white guys like us that are still reading them and collecting issues, like we're the dinosaurs. The kids these days, they're into the digital, they're into the trades, they're into the cartoons, they're getting their comics in different ways. I don't know that I think the idea of comics is going to last. Like Marvel's doing some digital only right now, where they're putting out some books, like the new thing that Kelly Thompson's doing, either West Coast Avengers or something. I can't remember. Something is going to be like digital only first, and then they're going to print it. Or this idea of printing monthly comics is maybe ancient and maybe not the sales strategy anymore that's going to work.
Well, I definitely can see that. Hey, what's up, Seeking Your Mate Comics? Long time no see, brother.
Man, SNMC's here.
Dang, I haven't seen you in a minute, bro. Well, you know what though? You have to adapt with the times, and I mean, just from your own self and myself. I'm 41, and you're like 41, so
we'll go with that.
So basically, you think about your time in the shop, and if you just spend any time in the shop and just observe, every young kid in there is buying trade paperbacks. That's all I ever see. They don't buy single issues, and that's great. Like I have no problem with it. They're still spending money in a comic shop, and if that's the way that it's going, Image, their first volumes are $10, super affordable, super easy to get into. Like
right on.
I love the way Image does their pricing and everything for their trades, so I have no problem with it at all if that's the way the world goes. Now, digital, that's a different story because I'm just not digital. I mean, everything in my life is digital, but if I want to read something, whether it's a novel or a comic book, I have to have it in my hand. I have to be able to turn pages. That's just me. I've read a couple digital comics, and Niobe #1 from LP there is one of those digital comics, which was really good, by the way, and I don't think I ever gave him feedback that he deserves, but I really enjoyed the first issue that he sent me. And the other one was the Alien Toilet Monster, when they asked me to do a review on Instagram. And so I just laugh at the name because it's such a weird name for such a great book. Like, if you're walking down your shop and that's on the shelf, and you're like, oh, Alien Toilet Monster, think I'll pass. But it's very similar to to me, it was like a cross between like Saga and like Blade Runner. Like, I know it sounds like a weird, but it's just kind of the way it felt with me, like that futuristic neon colored, world. And then you have like this crazy like sci-fi story. But oh gosh, you're welcome. You're welcome, LP. I just know that I failed to get back with you on that, and I guess I'll just do it here publicly and say it was a great read and I appreciated it, and I didn't give you the feedback you deserve. But that being said, the next time you have a Kickstarter, I'll be supporting the hell out of you, bro. Speaking of Kickstarters, I know last week I talked a little bit about Trogdor, the board game. I don't know if it's just a generation thing, but I'm super excited for that board game. I expect many, many nights of burninating in my house, but they've been doing really well. I've seen they've hit a lot of their milestones, so I'm guessing that a lot of people are not not supporting them. People that grew up on homestarrunner.com, such as me, appreciate that. But there's a lot of great Kickstarters right now. A new Lady Death just dropped. Paul Green's doing a cover for them, as well as Art Germ, which I thought was really interesting for Brian Paluto. So I would love, and I'm going to try my damnedest to get him on our show, as I would love to pick that man's brain. He has got Kickstarter down to a science. He is the best at it. Oh, hello, man.
the latest Kickstarter I did, I'm still waiting for the book. It's going to be another couple of weeks. Is God Hates Astronauts. Ryan Brown, who writes and draws that, he did a Kickstarter for like a brand new arc, basically hardcover, and I forget, I put like whatever amount I put in, I got so many bonus levels. So that's actually my first Kickstarter. I'm really excited for that because I love I love God Hates Astronauts. He put out an issue 0 after the whole series is over, which is basically issue 1. And he took out all the word bubbles and redid them. So it's the same exact artwork and a totally different narrative, which is really cool. So that's really great. And he does curse words with Charles Soule, which is really awesome. But yeah, I'm excited for my Kickstarter to come. It should be in the mail soon, a couple weeks now. And, you know, I get the hardcover plus a bunch of bonuses that I asked for. So I'm really excited for that. It's really just a great comic, fun comic.
That sounds awesome, man. I got a few that are still out there trickling in. I did some digital, just to support. It wasn't necessarily something I wanted in my collection, but I try to support as many Kickstarters as possible, even if it's just a minimum donation, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So sounds like this Friday night, if you guys tune in over there on Reviews from the Batcave for Comic Core, Niobe is going to be on there announcing his new Kickstarter and book. So make sure you guys tune in Friday night, 9 p.m. Central. Reviews from the Batcave. So I think that's what he said. But anyways, that's kind of cool. Like for especially for him. I mean, he's a good dude, and you know, you got Paul Green attached to it, man. That's you know, that's right up my alley. But I guess they're asking if there's going to be any nude variants for the Paul Green covers. I mean, I know he's known for that with Zenoscope. So we'll see. We'll see. Let's see what else we got. I'm going to show this book. I finally got this book in this week. I actually forgot about it, to be honest. Like, sometimes when I do like Facebook auctions or win something on Facebook, I tend to forget about it, or the guy or girl will be like, hey, you want me to start a box for you or hold it or whatever? And sometimes I'm like, yeah, just hold it, you know, whatever. Anyways, I forgot about this. I mean, this has been since before I even moved down here to this area. But anyways, I've been trying to get this book for a couple years at a decent price. I was able to get it for a couple bucks. And this is the Mike Deodato. Ooh, what have we got here? Avengers Arena number 14, the lovely X-23 cover.
Yeah, baby.
Yes. A long time coming. Been waiting. I've seen it in shops, but they want 15, 20 bucks for it. And I said, no, no, no. So very excited to finally have this in the collection. I just wish that some of the Facebook people would learn how to pack and or ship better. So it came in with a little ding-a-ling cover corner, but you know what? It's still okay. It can probably be pressed out by one of the lovely members of the community, I'm sure. But then it puts it back a $15 book, and what the hell? Yeah. I lose either way.
Round and round it goes. All right, I'll show off some stuff. So this is a couple reasons I got this one. One, because I know that Pope loves this. Pope G is a big fan. He showed this off like a month ago.
Oh, yeah.
So this is a shout out to Tu Mua. You guys, hey, it's Tu. That's the way he starts all his videos.
Yes.
Hey, Tu here. He packaged this stuff great. You know, I had to pay for the shipping, which made it not like the super deal, but $3 each. I got the Aquaman Jabberjaw. The artist on this, not the cover artist, I think, is this Middleton or Germ or one of the popular guys? I don't know. Middleton. But Parker, the artist on the interior, he's going to be at Rose City Comic Con, so I thought I'd grab that. Then he had this, and I figured since I was paying for shipping anyway, I didn't have a copy of this, so I got this. So these were packed beautifully. Gemini, or 2 pieces of cardboard, boards between each, tape everywhere, and then a padded envelope inside a padded envelope. So super packing. If you guys, you know, I'm on Instagram a lot. I'm seeing these people, and I'm like, do I trust them? Am I just throwing money at somebody I'm never going to see? Well,
Yeah.
him from the videos, he should be trustworthy. But even though I know him and he's not going anywhere, does he know how to pack comics? Do his comics have rips? But no, these are, I mean, these are pretty sweet. It's like a tiny crease on the Aquaman one, but you have to be searching for it to find it. The Flash looks good, and the packaging was great. So, you know, I will always shout out people who ship books well and choose one of them. If anybody's looking at his stuff, for sure.
Well, I know a lot of different people in the community have bought from him on Instagram. So he's a good dude, though. I've spoken with him a couple times over the years of me being on YouTube. The year and a half, whatever it's been. The old man in the community here.
The years I've been on YouTube.
Oh, goodness. So what else we got going on, man?
I mean, I got more to show. If you want, we can chat.
Yeah,
I can
absolutely talk about some of those awesome Liefeld books I know you're waiting to show off.
All right. So, community, you can all laugh at me, and if you do, you know, I deserve it. This is laughter time, right? We're not getting serious.
Before anyone laughs at you, just keep in mind that you're one TV announcement from a freaking gold mine.
There you go. There you go. Right. So everything I'm about to show you was a quarter each at Half Price Books, and I'm always talking about Half Price Books. One in Tacoma. Sometimes you look at their, like, this is my expensive book section. Those things are overpriced. They're like, you know, they're $40 for the 9/8 version, but their version is like a 6/0, and they just still charge $40 for it. No idea what they're doing. But there are 25-cent comics and the 50-cent comics. You can find deals. What I have here are not the deals. These are just the fun ones. I went down a rabbit hole after Prophet #2 like lit up because of or Youngblood #2 lit up because of Prophet. I said, all right, I've seen these comics for freaking months, if not years, in the same like back issue box and clearance box. I'll buy them. So we'll start off with Death Blow #1.
Nice.
Freak Force. Let's just throw two words together to come up with a name. Freak Force #1 or #1. And I believe, let's see who's on this one. This is Eric Larson. All right, so there's Freak Force. Now there's like this next one doesn't count, but all the rest after that look almost exactly the same. So there is Wild Star, which is this is Jerry Ordway, which is actually pretty cool on this. So there's Wild Star #1. But then the rest of these, man, you guys, if you bought comics in the night. So I went to college in 1989, and I couldn't afford to keep my comic book habit. They kept Uncanny X-Men going, but they also started that new X-Men run, the one where you can get like issue #1 sold 7 billion issues, and you get it for like 2 cents. That's when I stopped collecting comics for a good 25 years before I got back into it. So all of this kind of passed me by, but look at, there's Freak Force, and then there's the beauty that is Youngblood 0. And tell me if any of these characters look like similar Marvel characters. You see any sort of Wolverine, Sabretooth in there? I mean, right? Look at the tiny feet. Look at the big boobs. Look at the wild hair. I mean, everything here. This is Rob Liefeld, right? And then there's Cyberforce 0. Again, it's a wraparound cover of larger-than-life characters that look very similar to the Marvel characters you're familiar with, yet still somehow are their own, right? I mean, this is like Cable 3.0. On Youngblood, it was Cable 2.0. Here's Brigade. Ah! Brigade is another wraparound cover with women in tight, you know, one-piece bodysuits and big boobs and big hair and tiny feet. Again, is this Rob Liefeld? This is Rob Liefeld, and fold-out cover. And I'm not knocking Rob Liefeld. I mean, Rob Liefeld is what he is. He's a great guy for comics, and what they did, starting Image, was the most amazing development in the last 30 years. It's just, looking back in hindsight a little bit at these, you kind of go, oh, they had a thing, and their thing might have seemed different, but it was very similar to other things.
He very much appealed to his audience, right? Teenage boys.
Absolutely. I mean, anybody who is following what he and Jim Lee and Eric Larson were doing at Marvel, you know, I mean, the lines for all the Image #1s. I mean, if you saw that documentary on Netflix, people were all over X-Men #1 when it came out. I mean, there was lines around the road. And then when they went to Image a year later, they were all over these #1s. Then
what was the name of the documentary?
Oh, the documentary is amazing. It really.
What's it called?
I don't know. Look up Image. I forget. But it was like a thing on Image Comics at the beginning, and like the original 6 members, Mark Silvestri and Eric Larson and Neil Stevenson and Rob Liefeld. And, you know, they did something amazing. And what they morphed Image into, this whole creator-owned, like, distribution company where they don't own anything, was amazing. What they started at was also amazing. But after 2 years, nobody was buying their comics anymore. And they almost went out of business till they changed their model. But this is the one, and I was showing you this earlier, this is the one that really got me. Apparently, they had a license to bring Wolverine over to Image. And this is Deathblow and Wolverine. And it's, you know, it's the actual Wolverine character in an Image universe, which blew my mind. I did not know this existed. And I was like, wow, that's really, really awesome. So pretty excited to see that. Yeah. So for some of you, that's a trip down memory lane. For me, I didn't really know these early Images. So if there's more movies coming out, I'm on a $20 comic I pay 25 cents for. If I'm on a 2-cent comic I pay 25 cents for, but they're fun to have.
Oh, there's just a lot of fun stuff. Like, you know, if you guys go back and watch the video I did or with Dallas Fan Expo when I met Rob Liefeld, and had him sign one of his ridiculous creations. You know, I waited in line for forever just for a laugh, and you know, it obviously backfired on me because he didn't laugh. He just looked at it and said, "This is some great work." I mean, I'm like, well, fair enough. What are you gonna say, man? You nailed it, Vogue, Rogue, whatever her name, Vogue. I mean, he did. I mean, I can remember, and you know, that was about the time. So I got into comics when I was 15. You know, with the Deadpool Circle Chase, 1993, and then from there, you know, I'd go to the shop and I picked up the Young Bloods and anything that Rob Liefeld was drawing. I guarantee you, I was buying, or at least, you know, reading or picking up when I could. You know, Wildcats and you know all these ridiculous things. Looking back, you know, I remember Brigade. I remember Brigade #1 when it came out. You know, those things, but you know, all in all, it was fun stuff when you're a kid, when you're a teenager. I mean, all of us that grew up in the 90s, we know that era. You know, yeah, it was you know, the time when the comic bubble burst or what have you. But you know, I wasn't there reading comics for the death of Superman. Like that stuff never. I wasn't there for that. I wasn't into superheroes at that time. I was into, you know, anti-heroes. I was into these team books. A lot of the inappropriate stuff that you couldn't get as a teenage boy, but I had a man that could get it for me.
Connect. Connect.
I had the, well, I mean, you look at another book that got optioned a few months ago was Razor. I mean, that was like old school, like, you know, she was a badass lady, you know, she was deep and dark and just violent. And that was the stuff I was reading as a teenager because that's what my dealer could get me, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he was the he had the hookup in the trunk of his car in East Texas. It was great. But anyways, I mean, it's just funny seeing all these books that I used to have as a kid or reading when I was a kid. And you know, you talk about what is it, Youngblood #2, the first appearance of Prophet, because someone mentioned somewhere that there's going to be a movie or something, and all of a sudden this book that you probably could have got 1,000 copies of is now, you know, a $20-$30 book on eBay, and you can still get them in dollar bins, I guarantee you, if not 25-cent bins.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's a different conversation. But it's just really. So the title of the documentary is The Image Revolution.
Okay.
That's what Niobe says. Thank you very much, LP.
Yeah,
I'll
thank you.
see if I can find it tonight and maybe have a few beers and watch that as well. So, you
know, if nothing for not like the peg-legged but wide like pants and the whole like 90s like jackets. I mean, coming out of the 80s, like they all wore these just styles that you're like, whoa, what the hell is going on with them? But it's really cool to see. And, you know, those guys had fun. You could see there was a little bit of not anger, that's too strong. There was a little bit of disdain for Jim Lee for going back to DC, but you know, they all went back at some point to write when their Image stuff wasn't doing well. But again, I think like what Image has turned into is just amazing. This place where if you have a book, man, and you want to put it out, you can go to Image and put it out. You know, that's pretty much it, and that's just awesome.
It really is awesome, man. It's just there's just I don't know, so many different things out there. So really quick in the chat, looks like we have a new person to the chat. New to me. I don't know, maybe you're familiar with this person. HM3 Comics. I'm not sure.
So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to click on HM3, go to channel, and it says I'm already subscribed. So, you know, I subscribe to everybody that shows up in the chat, but sometimes they don't put out a lot of content. Not that I'm criticizing, but like I don't know if I'm subscribed to them or not. So.
Well, I just did the same thing. I was not subscribed to them, but I am subscribed now. So
you just gained a subscriber, HME3.
Yeah, you're welcome. So thanks for popping in and saying hello. You know, what's good tonight? I know there's not a whole lot of people in the chat tonight. It's actually kind of a quieter night, it seems like, but that's okay.
Somebody say something ridiculous we can riff off of.
Yeah, no kidding. You're welcome. You're welcome. So, you guys read anything good this week? I mean, I know. We talked about the Kickstarter on Friday, which I'm excited for. Looks like Seeking Internet Comics is gone. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to talk about a book I read this week here in a few minutes, just because I really enjoyed this book. It's an independent book, I know, completely shocker for those who know what I read. But one thing I found interesting, I was doing the research on the book, and the artist and the writer both only go by one name. Like when you go and you read the credits and it's Dan Smith or whatever. Not in this book. It's the writer's name is Gaudin, Gaudin, and the artist is Urgel. So I'm not sure if they're soccer players and only have the one name, if they're from Brazil. I don't know. But anyways, the book I read this week from Static Press or Titan Comics was Dead Life #1. So as you can imagine from the lovely cover here, this is a zombie tale. But it's a really different zombie tale. It's not, let's just say intelligent zombies maybe is a better way to go about it.
Miss Hustle just said Steve Urkel. And I'm not sure if she's responding to your zombie tale or something in the chat, but it just
yeah,
that's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Segue into intelligent zombies, I guess. But yeah, so basically this is a really thick book too, guys. I mean, the cover price is $5.99, so it's a little steep, but you're getting twice the book from what you would get from DC or Marvel. And I'm not exaggerating. It's a really thick read. And the last #1 I got from them, which was that Viking book I talked about a couple weeks ago, also the same thing. Very thick. You're getting a lot of story, a lot of pages for your money, which I'm okay with. If you're going to get 50, 60 pages for $6, can't really complain versus 24 for $5 from Marvel or whatever, right? So basically, it's just a zombie tale. Kind of a quick little synopsis is Grandpa has some kind of weird goblet up in his attic. Little kid, this kid here, shared the goblet with his little buddies, and the whole town turns into freaking zombies. But like I said, they're intelligent zombies. They are killing people not by typical zombie ways. Yes, there's lots of biting and clawing and brains and guts, but there's also zombies with guns, zombies with a piece of firewood when they murder someone's head. Really, really interesting. Kind of fun. I'm excited to see where the story goes. I would certainly recommend it. I give this one on a scale of 1 to 5. I'm going to give this one a nice solid 4. And I'm not even a zombie fan, so I just want to be clear on that. I don't read Walking Dead. I don't really get into the zombie genre too much. But I would definitely recommend this. Dead Life #1 by Static Press, Titan Comics. check it out. There is a variant cover. This is cover A, but there is also a variant cover out there. They're probably short printed because I can't imagine there's too many of these floating around. I special ordered this one out of previews because it looked interesting or sounded interesting. So that is my pick of the week. The one book I actually got time to sit down and read. Check it out or don't.
Sweet. So Roman said The Raid, number 1 by Tacoma Comics. Really, really good. About to read it tonight based off the movie The Raid Redemption.
That's a great movie, by the way.
What's that?
That's one of my favorite foreign films.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
I have no idea what it is.
It's an action-packed, like, Indonesian, I believe. Like, Indonesian martial arts movie.
Oh, sweet. Can't go wrong with Indonesian martial arts.
Yeah, they have it's a very unique fighting style. I can't think of it. They fight low to the ground, like the actual fighting style that they're trained in. It's almost like, anyways, I can't remember the exact name, but it's cool. The Raid was awesome. There's going to be a Raid 2 coming out. I thought maybe that the comic book, because I did see it, and I did order the Raid number 1. I just haven't got any recent comics for a couple weeks. But anyways, I'm sure it's really good. I'm sure Roman will let us know because he's on it. And then you got how's your Chew number 1 doing?
It's there. You know, if you hadn't heard the story, if you don't watch my videos, you don't watch my videos? Seriously. Who watches past the first 2 minutes of my video anyway? The Chew number 1.
I like your wine choices usually.
There you go. $1.50. And I'm like, holy. The guy was putting out the box and he was about to take stuff out of the short box and put it into like the racks at Half Price Books. And I was like, can I follow you around? He's like, why don't you just look through the short box first? I said, sure. I'm going through Chew number 1, Chew number 2. I'm like, holy cow, $1.50. So I grabbed him out. And whenever I go to Half Price Books now, my kids are old enough. My 11-year-old goes that way to the manga section.
Sure.
And my 8-year-old goes over to the kids section, but he's feeling his oats. He's going to the young adult section next to the kids section. So I know where they are. So I start walking over to the young adult section, and I'm like, please tell me this is a first print. Please tell me this is a first print. I open it up, take it out. It catches on the tape. So now I've got the tape pull. I peel it very slowly, and it's all white, right at the top underneath the word Chew. But I get a tiny tear.
Oh, no.
I just took a $300 book down to like $80, but it's still only $1.50. So, and I still need it for my collection, so I'm freaking happy. And my goal is to get John Layman and Rob Guillory to sign right over where that tear is, so as not to like make notice of it. You know, I don't get much slabbed. I'm not a big slabbing guy, so I'm not worried about that. But just like the idea that it was because I was rushing and I was actually nervous about the freaking comic that I ruined it. You know, live and learn. Live and learn.
No kidding. Could use it for $1.50. Man, it wouldn't matter if it was a 4th print. But man, I know the feeling though. The old tape, man. The old Scotch tape, ruiner of many books. That's why I go with the comics community approved painter's tape.
Yeah, the painter's tape is great. I actually I like the sticky back bags that have like the sticky strip, so that you have to fold over to get onto the strip, but there's no tape involved. That's the way I like to go if I can. What's up, buddy? Yeah. My son. He's very, very communicative at age 11. What's up?
Come on in. Join the show. Give him a beer.
Yeah. He's such a good kid. And I remember I was just, when I was in 5th grade, I had this really cool teacher who was all about like teaching us about drugs, right? And it wasn't part of the curriculum. I think he just did a lot of drugs and he was teaching us about it. And so he was all about like, this is this. And me and my friends are like, no, I would never touch that. That's dangerous. And, you know, a few years later it was something different. So I'm like, hey, buddy, Nathaniel, come here. I'm like, do you want a sip? He goes, no. Do you want a sip? Do you want to try a beer? Nope. He just walked away. He's a great kid. He's an absolute great treasure. I love him to death. I can't imagine what he's going to be like 4 years from now.
Well, you know what? Sometimes they have to learn by experience. I was about 5 when I had my first beer. And look how great I turned out, Dad.
Oh my gosh.
I remember it was sitting on some like some people outside around a bonfire, campfire. Maybe the house was on fire. I'm not really sure.
Fire was involved somehow.
There was a fire and there was beer, and I was running through the yard and I see this. I was like, "Oh, I'm so thirsty!" So I was like, "What the hell?" So I didn't drink beer again until I was probably in my 30s, to be honest with you.
Wow.
Just never been a big drinker. So this is literally the only beer I have every week is on Thursday nights, or if we do whenever we do our show.
I feel guilty now. I'm an enabler.
That's okay. That's okay. Be you, man. Be you. I have no problem with it. I just, you know, I do my low key drinking. But yeah, I got one down. It's on to Mr. Sam Adams Boston Lager. I can't wait to get some new beers. I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited to have something new in the fridge.
What's big in Texas, like craft brew? What's like the big breweries in Texas?
There's one called Dallas Blonde, Deep Ellum or something like that. There's oh my gosh, the one I just had a few minutes ago. That one's from Texas, the Real Ale. They're Texas. There's another one over in Justin, Texas. I can't think of what they're called off the top of my head right now, but I don't really care for their product. That's why I can't remember it. And then Revolver. Revolver's really good. That's probably my favorite Texas beer so far.
So Roman in the chat is yelling at me to YouTube search the Raid Redemption Hammer Girl. I don't know if those are separate things or one thing, but I definitely have some YouTube work to do after this video.
Yeah. With who? I didn't catch that last part.
No, just the Raid Redemption. He says YouTube search the Raid Redemption Hammer Girl. I don't know if that's one video or if that's like 6 different things YouTube search. You know, I just Hammer Girl sounds good too. I don't know.
Yeah, she fights with claw hammers, man.
Oh, that's awesome.
Pretty brutal stuff. I'm
down.
I would not recommend it.
So this is Lagunitas. They're a California brewery. This is what is this one? This is their Lagunitas Sucks, right? And this is their basic ale, 8%, man. So yeah, I'm enjoying myself right now. But I
want to try that so bad.
They do their little something something ale, which has a little bit stronger. They do their brown sugar ale, which has the sweet taste to it, and then they do a bunch of IPAs. And you know, I hate IPAs, man. I'm so over the IPA revolution.
Same here.
Artists need to stop stocking IPAs. People need to stop drinking IPAs. Stop showing off how freaking cool you think you are because you can have a bitter beer. IPAs suck. Go back to your ales and your pilsners and your wheat beers and your goses and expand your fucking shit and stop your goddamn IPAs. Please, I beg you. It's just not cool anymore. What do you think? You're 23 and going to be hip? You're not. Stop drinking IPAs.
I am with you on all of that and more. I freaking hate IPAs so much. Oh my gosh, that's so funny, dude. I love when you go on tangents like that because I feel the same way.
I think that's why you invited me on, so I'm there now. Miss Hustle says I'm wilding, and I haven't started to wild yet, but Woodard knows that Lagunitas is good, so there we go. You got to hold down the fort for a second. I got to go get another beer. Be right back.
Okay. I guess you guys are stuck with me, all 8 of you. It's a really quiet night tonight, which is kind of weird, but that's okay. We're at the 10 o'clock hour now. So I think what we need is some Pope Grimy. Oh my gosh. Just like that. I was just, look at that. I already got an extra viewer as soon as you pop on. I was losing it, man. I was losing it without you. It's like they know. Is everything safe? Is everything good?
Yeah, it was a nice, interesting adventure.
Is everything okay?
Yep, my students are safe.
Does anyone need CPR?
No, it was just a fucked up situation that they were put in, and they shouldn't have been put in that way. It wasn't their fault. They just got stuck in a bad spot. But everything is good. So what's up? What's going on?
Oh
Let's
man.
start. What did I miss?
Well, Ian just went on a nice tangent about IPAs. So that was awesome. He is not a fan either, which I can appreciate. So thank you. Yeah. So otherwise, we talked about Sam Adams here because that's what I just switched to. I talked about my book of the week, which was Dead Life. I showed off my Avengers 14, so he showed off some of his awesome image finds, Liefeld collections. So it's up to you now, brother, to bring us home this next half hour or so and see what you got.
Guys, like
I realized
for all those that may have, I am drinking the Yingling Black and Tan for tonight.
England Black and Tan.
Which-
England Black and Tan.
I'm very lucky that I wasn't like 3 sheets in the wind.
It would have been more awesome.
That was me at the very like possible good moment you could ever find me, because like after I was like, if you would have called maybe 50 minutes later, it would have been a no. He put on a hat and sunglasses. That's right.
All right, the chat's got to see this.
Somebody's gonna do it. God damn it!
Try me.
Oh,
Right there. I can't even see without my glasses on, so I don't know how funny I look or not.
you look great, man.
There you go. I'm totally biting your style, though, so I'll give that to you.
I feel like we should have like one of those like random moments. Like, remember the old Saturday Night Live skits of the Bears? That's what I felt like there. Like, I don't know why that was what it made me think of, but I don't know. So much facial hair in one video.
All right, can I get serious for a moment?
Yeah.
Or I'm not able to get serious for a moment. I have no idea what just happened, but Pope just left a live video stream to go help a student for half an hour, which, as a teacher, I totally respect and appreciate, and that's pretty freaking awesome.
Well, thank you. Well, I mean,
Toast. This is where you kiss something, Pope. I get confused between weddings and bar mitzvahs and helping students.
Well, after you get married, that's when they cut them off.
What? Who got cut off?
Them.
I don't like this game. That's a terrible.
The boys.
So Miss also ruined my sentimental moment by saying, was it a girl student or a boy student? Which was in the back of my head as I was being very sincere.
Didn't clarify.
Oh, come on.
The answer is yes.
Getting late night calls from your students, eh? You're fired, buddy.
Yeah, I'm kidding. That sounds like something someone else I know would do, not in this room or this chat or this show. Have another beer, guys.
Sure.
HME3 wants to know what people thought about the Venom trailer too. And I'll tell you that I'm opinionless because I have not seen it yet, because Venom, Carnage, that's like the era of Marvel that I miss, 1990s, 2000s. So I just have no like interest in it whatsoever. So somebody else has seen it. Let us hear what you have.
Wow. So you have like no interests at all?
I have a general interest in that. I'm into like Marvel Comics and I'm following the MCU. They're doing a freaking bang up job, and I read comics, but that's not where I'm going to put my money or my time or my attention, really.
I mean, to me, Venom is going to be a movie that I'm going to watch it when it comes out on Blu-ray or something like that. Am I going to go see it in the movies? I don't think it. There's not enough. Just by watching the trailers, I'm not trying to diss it or whatever, but just by going by the trailers, I'm not that excited. It's one of those things that's going to have to wait until it comes out on Blu-ray or DVD or something like that.
Hey, speaking of stuff, we did talk about Image taking a hiatus on Saga for next year.
Oh, because that's exactly what the fans want.
Well, we had a discussion about it, Ian and I. So, I mean, sometimes that's what they got to do, I guess, to recharge. But what's that? Are you coming?
Saga 54.
Oh, that's the cover, eh?
Yeah, doesn't tell you much. The feather. Read deeply into the feather and tell me what you come up with. And some bubbles up here. There's a feather and some bubbles. So you know exactly what happens with the feather and bubbles.
They signed a contract in blood.
Something like that. I mean, right here, I'm open to the page that shows who dies, but I won't spoil it for you.
Yeah, don't spoil it for me.
There you go. It was close. Another beer, and I might have flipped it around by accident.
Did you guys see the new Venom trailer? Venom number 2 that we were talking about? Did I miss that conversation?
You know, HME3 says Venom's one of his top 5 characters. So HME3, what do you think of the Venom trailer? Is it kind of, you know, holding up to your depiction of the character, your idea of what it should be like?
I tell you, I saw a really funny meme today. Someone did, and they put like googly eyes on Venom, and that was really funny.
Yeah, I've seen one meme that looked like it's like Cookie Monster.
I mean, I literally laughed out loud and couldn't stop myself because I'm a child. But whatever.
I think I'm trying too hard to like add some serious comic content to this conversation, and like, when I used to just follow you in the chat, I was all silly and stuff. But Miss Hustle just wrote, "Tickle and you pee in your pants." And I don't know what the hell she's talking about, but I'm cracking up with the chat.
That's Saga cover. But I don't know who pees red though.
I don't know how that's connected to comics, but it's just very funny.
I think she's referring to that Saga cover you just showed.
She likes to get tickled with feathers and pee in her pants. Now I understand.
Oh, now that explains a lot about you, Miss Hustle. That must be the French inside of her.
Stand behind me, do some guitar.
What? Are you gonna play guitar for us?
Oh no, I've taken a total of 3 lessons. My son's been on it for 6 months, and when you're young, you pick up that stuff quickly. You can knock out a few good acoustic guitar sounds. I can do some notes. I can do 25 or 624, the opening riff, and that's all I know how to do.
I learned how to play the song Tom Dooley when I was a kid.
There you go.
Yeah, that's old.
Hustle wants to know what else you can do with a feather. Well, Miss Hustle, I don't know you that well, and I'm married, so it's going to be a mystery.
All right, so HME3 is actually excited. He said that they did, or sorry.
Are you drunk?
No, I'm trying to get my shit together, man. Like I have my phone. I'm making sure that the student is still okay. And is somebody talking in the background? I hear like a little
My wife's calling for the son to go to brush his teeth or something,
Oh, okay.
Family life.
Family. I always ban my family upstairs. I'm like, go upstairs. Daddy's getting drunk.
2 weeks from now, I'll have my own house with my big rooms and 2 floors, and I can do the whole you go there, you go there.
We can go a week without bumping into each other.
Remember last week's show when my TV came on by itself in the middle of the night? Yeah. That was freaky. I wish you were home by yourself.
Uncanny Kyle Walker's in the house. How you doing?
What?
Jason Smith says like a turd rolling in the wind.
Hey, what?
I'll take the hit for that. This is me.
Like a turd rolling in the wind, man. You know what they say.
I don't know what they say. Who the hell are they? Who
Jason,
talks about turds rolling in the wind?
Jason Smith apparently talks about turds rolling in the wind.
That's disgusting.
Finally, the one thing to discuss, JP. Not page 7. It's a fucking turd rolling in the wind. A carefree turd.
Hail the prince.
Wait, before I forget, I've got comics.
And cold ones.
Yes. Well, we know that. So
Cold ones.
beyond the cover and the surprise, what did people think about this?
I haven't yet to read it, but we are trying to get that to be our theme cover for the show because it's got a drunk guy, the drunk variant. We need that.
I'm drunk. Yeah. All right, so I'll go. I actually liked it. I mean, I read a review online that just ripped it apart, and they're like, "Oh, you don't feel for any of the characters, and it's they just said it's very staid and lame." But I just actually thought it was kind of fun. I wasn't like
I thought it was
deeply into. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I thought it was like a good intro into the story.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely want to read it. I just haven't. Again, I'm behind. I'm behind because I'm busy.
Busy.
Yeah, man. It was good. It was a fun read. This idea that there's a secret government agency that just like kills people who are mean. That's kind of cool.
It's really
bad. Just people are dicks. Shoot them. It's not like
that's really funny because I had that premise years ago. Me and my buddy, we called it the Church of Some Bitchery. And we had this like idea to go around and like take everyday situations and just like it was basically to teach people to be nice and to be observant, like because you never know when someone's going to shoot you in the face.
Now I'm gonna imagine you like driving around like you're dressed like a priest and you got the collar. You're driving around and be like, "There goes the son of a bitch." Hey, quit being a son of a bitch. Roll down the window.
Miss Hustle says they could have put more effort into the variant covers. All the variants are just these two guys saying different things. This one has them saying nothing. One variant has this woman down here saying I'm drunk, but otherwise it's just two different bubbles of them saying different stuff. So that's a great comment.
Yeah,
that wins the comments.
Oh yeah, I think that was a golden comment right there because there's like 11 variants about that, and it's like. Some people just think there's 10 variants. There's actually 11. Like it's the gold foil, and that's like I think was supposed to have been a store exclusive. To get in on this, JJ for real 2. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say he was holding a contest, but it's over. Scratch that. Sorry.
Thanks for building up the hype. You
That's what I do.
Congratulations, you lost.
Congratulations, losers.
Hey, what's up, Evan? Welcome to the chat.
So are you going to thumbs down the video?
Do I get a blue wrench at any time? I thought I'd have a blue wrench for this. That's not like part of the deal?
What? You want a blue wrench?
I want a blue wrench, man. Those are so cool.
Oh, man.
If that's beyond you, don't worry about it. I'm just messing.
I don't even have a blue wrench, man.
Ooh, Four-Way Flashes is here.
Hey, he was on last week on our after party, man. We had a good talk.
Nice.
I gotta send you some comics this week, man. But you Canadian boys are expensive.
What's the deal with the after party? It's like we're done showing things, but we still want to talk and chat.
Yeah, if you want to hang out and drink beers, just like get to know each other on an intimate level with no shirts. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, usually when we go into the private chat, I move the camera angle down and pull out the cigar.
His cousin gets out from under the desk. It's really amazing.
So Niobe said something interesting, and I'm kind of drunk, so I don't remember what it was. I haven't read it, but as a writer, I can tell you for anything to take off needs at least 3 issues. I would give it at least that much. Give them time to set it up. I think he's referring when you said like the first issue was a good setup. I think that's a really good point. Like, you know, you want to get your sales off with issue number 1, get all the hype, but for any good writer to develop a story is going to take more than just that like first issue. So that's pretty, you know, I think it's pretty interesting. You really got to have your shit together and kind of give these comics times to develop, and then boom, explode.
Unless you're Donnie Cates and you just fucking do it. And
Curse Words number 1 was bam. Actually, no, that was Charles Soule and Ryan Brown. But your Death of Inhumans, yeah.
Venom was really good. I got to read number 3 maybe tonight.
So that Crush cover, the character cover, they're selling for $25. I wanted to pick it up. I was hoping it was like 10 or 15. $25 at my local comic book shop. I had to say no, man. And that thing looks so cool. That was like a non sequitur. I just led off from Death of Inhumans because I was thinking of the Death of Inhumans cover. Then I was thinking of the Crush cover. That's how that got here to there. I just leapt from Marvel to DC and landed. I'm sorry.
You're talking about the Teen Titans, right?
Yes. So let's go there. Now let's see the Crush cover of that.
I don't have the Crush cover.
It was only $25. You didn't pick it up?
It's only your weekly pool allowance.
Well, this is the thing about it. Like when I pre-ordered these, I don't think that cover existed, so I didn't. That's why I didn't order. But my thing was when I pre-ordered this, Babs Tarr was listed as the variant B cover, and so when I finally got my stuff in the mail, I was just like, "What? This isn't like." It was supposed to have been Babs Tarr that did the cover B, but somewhere down the line, DC pulled her version and threw in.
Really?
Yeah, one of the other ones. Yeah.
Wow, that's not cool. Are you a big fan of her from like Motor Crush or Batgirl or?
I started following her during Batgirl. I liked her Batgirl stuff, but like. Since we're honest, is the leadway. This is one of the books I was going to talk about.
Go for
I thought
it.
It was.
You're on.
I thought it
was. Go.
Chug, 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 chug.
What are you drinking, Pope? You had to switch to drinking first.
But I thought the Teen Titans was a really good read.
You just ignore the man's question. You just freaking break his heart. He's a guest on our show.
I drank. I did this, and then I went.
How are you drinking?
What are you drinking?
What are you drinking?
Oh, I thought you said drink. I was like, I'm fucking drinking.
It wasn't a command. It was a question.
I'm drinking the Lean Black and Tans.
Oh, you did. I remember. You said that earlier.
Hey, who did you send your shades to, by the way? I forgot.
They never responded. They never sent me any info.
Oh, bastards. Man, I just wanted to like imagine. I'd like to imagine that, you know, I'm in the front row of a Leonard Skinner concert, open up my box of comics, and there's some sunglasses in there, and it's a sunny day, and I needed them.
You're like, holy shit!
Like, thanks, Paul Grimer, you're the man.
Hey, what did Four-Way Flash? Is that like original X-Men number 10 you got?
Me?
Chat.
What?
Yep.
Syphilis?
In the chat.
Oh, the chat.
In the chat. Four-Way Flashers says that he got an X-Men 10. He was talking to Kyle and not us, but I'm going to appropriate his conversation and make it part of the main conversation. Yeah, first Kate. Oh, wow. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet, man. You got to get on Instagram and post that so I can see it. Or, you know, do a comic book.
Instagram. Comics and Cold Ones is now on Instagram.
They
yes,
are.
I was going to talk about that earlier.
They are. Did we?
No, we didn't. We're on Instagram and Twitter.
And Twitter.
Are you guys on Twitter?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll catch you up.
At Cold Comics.
Cold Comics?
At Cold Comics. Or you can look at Comics and Cold Ones. I believe it comes up that way.
I'll search. Go on about Teen Titans 20 and this new character Crush.
Oh, Lobo's daughter. I was wondering what the hell we're going with this crush thing. I'm like, who's crushing who? Who's doing what? I love Orange Crush with vodka.
Yeah, but that crust covers her profile pictures, right? Like
Yeah.
the sketches and stuff like that.
That's
I mean,
what-
I'll get it eventually, but I'm in the middle of trying to get a house too, as well. So it's kind of like I can only spend so much money.
Understandable.
But as far as the read, man, I thought it was great. I thought it was a good introduction of the new characters, and I think it's going to be pretty cool to see Damien being able to lead a group of Titans that are pretty much going to have like they're going to, I guess, have obviously some rules, but you know they're going to act a little bit more harsher, and I don't know. I think there's going to be a little bit a more brutal element since like Damien is a rule breaker, you know.
What?
Coming from,
He's not my favorite Robin.
not Damien. He's like, yes.
Are you guys Cold Beer Comics on Twitter?
No.
No.
It's just called I think it's at Cold Comics. Something like that. Something like that, Mr. Miller.
But I'm gonna
yeah, I got you. I'm following you. We're all good. We're friends. We're friends again. It's good. All right, back to the chat. Back to the live show.
back to the live show.
Now I got my social media out of the way.
Yeah, I just got the notification.
The Who's Your Nerds is in here, and he says he's got comics, but no cold ones.
What the F?
Something to alleviate that situation. Do you need help from us? Can we send you something? What can we do to help you out? Who's Your Nerd?
He has some really cool videos. If you guys aren't subbed to him, check him out.
What's the point?
What?
If he's not drinking, what's the point?
Well, he doesn't. Not everyone needs to drink.
I'm sorry. Would you explain yourself, please? I know I'm on your show, but come on now.
No, I think we have a good balance in the community. Like we get drunk at night and talk about comics, and then you can wake up and watch like comics with Bueller, and like drink coffee and sober up. So this is kind of like we should just kind of rotate on the same shows, and then like superimpose like a like coffee mug in my hand. Good morning, Bueller. What's up?
You got some Bailey's Irish cream in
Oh,
there.
I'm not still shrunk. What?
He throws up his videos at like 4:30 a.m. Man, he's crazy. I love that guy. He's dedicated through and through.
Oh, yeah. Congrats to him. He's surfing on those subs right now. So like, congrats to him.
No kidding.
Hell
He
yeah.
started like a 750 sub contest, and then boom,
Boom.
he's like hitting 1,000.
All of a sudden, there's some boobs through across the screen.
I don't see any shark fins, so I don't give a fuck.
Well, not everyone can have shark fans.
But I'll give Teen Titans 20 a solid 3 beers and a shot.
3 beers and a shot. I gave Dead Life 4 beers, just so you know.
Nice.
Seeds had about 4 beers.
That's a good start.
I think one of the coolest things that was what happened at the very end of Teen Titans 20 is like you see what happens when they what they do to the villains that they encounter. And it's a little bit different than like and 4-way flashers says shark titties for the win.
All right.
This is the only show on YouTube, I promise you, that you can get shark titties.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. I'm doing a segment we call Fast Comics Flying by the Screen. So
Nice.
I got the Wonder Woman.
Our term.
Visaggio, Magdalene Visaggio, Kim and Kim. Oh shit, it's Kim and Kim is now the ongoing series.
Oh shit.
Magic Order number 2. Haven't read it yet.
Neither. Got in my stack.
God damn it, I can get that book.
Darth Vader.
Old Vader.
That whole run is still really good, man. Both Darth Vader runs have been awesome. Star Wars something. Who cares? It's getting really sucky. It's been sucky for 30 issues, but I can't keep it up. Darth Vader Annual 2. Apparently, they didn't get married, but she was fooled by her friend into
Wait,
doing.
hold on. They didn't get married?
Wait, what? No, I gave it away. I'm sorry. What? Let's just go to issue 51. Issue 51. There's a bad guy. Ah!
Wait, what? Colossus didn't get married? What?
Issue 52. Rogue and Gambit took the place of Kitty Pryde and Colossus.
Rogue and Gambit got married? What? What happened to my 90s?
There's a variant to this that's actually really freaking awesome that I want to get.
Is that where she's like, it's a close up of her with hairy legs?
Yes. Yes. You saw that. Yes. And look, I still read Lumberjanes, so screw you all because I do. I picked up Kid Eternity because I like Eternity Girl, and I think this has to do with Eternity Girl, so I picked it up. And this is my second copy of Champions 2 because it's got Brawn and it's got Ironheart in her new suit. And now my pile here is empty. Somebody else can go.
Ooh, challenging.
Yeah, baby.
Well, the other book that I read was Justice League Dark. And I'm pretty stoked about it. I've always been a Justice League Dark fan. I didn't know how I was going to feel about I guess I could show you what it looks like.
Ooh. You say you did or didn't read it?
I did read it.
You like it?
I'm hooked.
I hear Zatanna plays a good role.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like, she actually played. I don't want to ruin it, but yeah. I will say that magic in their universe is like fucked up right now.
Kind of like your internet. Come back to us, Pope. We need you.
I didn't know how to handle that, but there you go. Well, he's gone. Anybody reading Mech Cadet?
Mech Cadet.
My kids love this. I love this. There's Pope. He's back. Pope, keep going. You got frozen for a bit.
Of course I did.
We can't play the speed comics with you. You're like, what? I can't tell if he's frozen again or
he's just freezing himself.
Like, I've given up at this moment. Yeah, take it away, Tacoma. Take it away.
All right, here we go.
You just fucking pretend that I'm doing stuff. Cool stuff.
Justice League Dark. Wait, my student's calling. You need some help. Actually, this story is as old and trite as can be, but it's just written super well, and it's a lot of fun, especially if you got young kids totally into Mech Cadet. Mark Waid just finished his run on Archie. It ended a bit abruptly, right? It was like they kind of figured out the Reggie, like, you know, adopted father breaking out of jail thing, but they didn't figure out the Archie, Veronica, Betty, which I guess, you know, is what you're supposed to do. Like, never resolve Archie and Betty and Veronica, because that'd be ridiculous. I haven't read this yet, so there it is. This is, you know, somebody commented the other day that they never read, actually in the letters column of 21, that they never tell you what the hell is going on. And it's just like on and on and on. But that's kind of the idea, is that, like, you don't know what the hell is going on in Paper Girls. Just these four girls trying to figure out, and like stuff's happened around them. So the fact that you're, as the reader, left like not knowing much more than them is kind of pretty cool. I like that. This is a dumb comic. I'm just a Miss Marvel fan, so I read it. I'm a Saladin Ahmed fan. He's awesome on Black Bolt. He's awesome on Abbott. He's not very good on this. It's not a good comic, but I read it because Miss Marvel's a Miss Marvel fanatic. Don't buy it. It's not very good. But Miss Marvel 32, I bought because I'm a Miss Marvel fan, and I like it because it's good. And then I told you I had 2 copies of this. So there's the second copy. Is anybody reading any of the Milk Wars Mother Panic stuff? This is the whole like young animal stuff. I actually really dig this because Mother Panic herself is a sick hero. She's like, first of all, she's like this to Batman. Like, stop messing with me. I'm in Gotham too, and I can handle my own stuff, and you just leave me alone. And there's a Kid Joker, like, first appearance in here, and it's actually a pretty sick comic. I like this a lot. Do not knock this. And then I picked this up because Spider-Gwen becomes Spider-Ghost, and maybe I can sell it for twice as much as I bought it on eBay someday. Blah.
Oh, is that what that one is? What number is that? I need to get that one.
It's last number, 34.
34? Okay.
I've read one number 34. I'm done.
Oh my gosh.
How you doing?
I'm excited for. I did pre-order some of the Art Germ Ghost Spider #1 issues.
Oh yeah, those are pretty sweet covers.
Yeah, I mean, I like the whole character, I guess, for some reason. Spider-Gwen, Gwen Stacy, Ghost Spider, Shabalaka Doobaleba Ding Dong. Don't matter. Whatever. It's all
People
good.
don't like the name Ghost Spider, but obviously I like it. I'm just glad they gave her a different name than Spider-Gwen. Like,
is
really
Ghost Spider better than Spider-Gwen?
It's 100 times better than Spider-Gwen. Like
100?
If you say so.
If I got bit by a radioactive spider and ran out there like, my name's Spider Sean. Spider Sean. Spider Sean. Like, no.
It's only now that I could actually read the letters on your hat. I didn't know what they said before you actually pointed them out. Now it makes more sense. That G is radical.
It is. I thought his hat said Sean for the longest.
My thoughts are radical. Think about that. Think about that while my screen freezes like this.
So how many do we have in the chat?
Not many.
I was going to do a shot at 50, but that's pushing it.
Yeah, good luck. There's like 11.
They're waiting for the hangouts.
It's like a super quiet night tonight. It's really weird. Like normally it's live and popping. I don't know what you guys are doing. Drink something. Damn.
I ruined it for you guys, man. Hey, readers here.
The last time we have you on this show, you genius.
Yeah, throw me out, man. Comics and Dead one is clearly
Comics and
very
Dead.
interesting. It's all about Niobe wants the after party. Start the after party now. We'll just keep it live. All right.
Yeah, we can just keep it live. We don't have to have an after party.
I'll be back.
Thank you, Arnold.
It'll be fun.
Wonder Woman.
So hopefully, if I don't freeze, but like that Justice League Dark was really good.
Yeah.
I was trying to talk about Zatanna, and then it was just like, bleh.
You're like, you got the magic in me every time I magic in me.
But I would definitely give that one 4 cold ones. It's a really good read. I think that series is going to get good.
Which one? Justice League Dark?
Yeah, Justice League Dark.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I got it in my pool list whenever I get that. But, you know, whenever I get it, I am excited because it's like, you know, Zatanna is one of those like characters that I've always liked. She just never really gets the, yeah, she's had her own stuff, whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Like, they always cancel the book or they put her in, you know.
But another thing I'm excited about is in October, they're bringing back Sandman, and they're bringing back Lucifer.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. I mean, I know Neil Gaiman's got some stuff coming back too, right? He's doing something with the Sandman stuff.
Yeah. And Jay Ali's doing one of the covers for Sandman. So I'm pretty stoked about that.
Yeah, I did see that. There's going to be hopefully once here in short amount of time, we'll get things rolling. I can get back into my previews and things of that nature.
Hey, GPAP is in the house, so
G-Pop!
I gotta love that name, man. That's just a fun name to have. Because you can say Jean Paul Ace Peter, you could say Kiss, or you could say GPAP.
GPAP, man. I think he's going to come on with us next. I hope he's better luck than this guy.
I'm a freaking mess here. What am I?
I'm just kidding, man. I'm glad you came on with us tonight. We love hanging out with other YouTubers. You know, like we really do appreciate you guys giving us your time to be on this side of the camera with us. You know, so you know, so far so good.
Sleepy Reader says there's 4 Sandman comics coming at once, and so
that's intense.
I read that, and I love Sandman. I love Neil Gaiman. I read all his stuff, all his novels, and American Gods and Nazi Boys and stuff. But I'm not like Sandman was perfect for when it was and what it was, and it revolutionized comics. And very few comics have reached that level since. The whole entire story was way ahead of its time. But do we want to go back now to 4 new Sandman stories with kind of Neil Gaiman's imprint, but other people doing them? Is it just a blatant money grab, or is it like really going to be the greatest comics ever?
God damn, you just like let's really talk about this.
Open to new beer. I gotta have something to talk about.
Let's give them something to talk about. That's my
Gene apparently it's his birthday today, so
hey, drink that.
Hey.
Whose birthday?
GPAP.
Anybody's birthday.
It is Sean's birthday. Sean Squared.
Sean Squared.
We'll drink to that, sir. Drink, 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 drink. Is that a weird attempt at a beer bong there, bro?
No, you guys are drinking for his birthday, and I figured I'll drink and pour it at the same time.
That makes sense if you're trying to kill yourself.
Okay. Only in the fun way. Drinking and I'm gonna die by YouTube. Oh, I'm a set builder for theater.
Oh, okay. You know T.J. Donahue?
Say that again?
T.J. Donahue.
No, I do not.
Only other set builder I know. It's, you know, a long shot. It's like, oh, you're from China? Do you know Bill? I don't know. I know a guy who builds sets. He went to college for that. He graduated and he builds sets for a living. So I thought maybe you knew him.
To be honest with you, I mean, like, the circle is huge. So, like, it's weird to, like, so I understand you throwing a name out. Because, like, it's weird how, like, our connections go, like, are global. I mean, it's crazy. Super crazy.
So the kid that you were helping before just got like stuck in the rafters or something, or
they fell into the trap door and I had to go out there and get them out.
Yeah.
No, but what it was is like I work at a college where I work at Berea. The Berea College, and what they do is the students have a work program where their tuition is free, but they pretty much work for Berea College, and it pays for their education. So they get like room and board and an education, and they get a paycheck, but it's a very small paycheck because most of that money goes into their education. But so I mean, it's a really cool thing, and like. And I love the theater that we have because, like, you don't just, like, if you're part of the theater, you learn everything about the theater from, like, hanging lights to acting to directing, everything. It's crazy.
I should have been a director. I should have been in theater. I should have been a set builder.
I should have been a contender.
I should have been a Tinder.
You set me up.
That's what I do.
So he sets me up all the time, but I freeze. He's like, Sean, and here you go. And I'm like,
It's like, oh, there he's at again.
I'm like, I'm still laughing because I thought everything went fine and smooth. I'm like, like everybody's like, you fucking froze, dude.
Joke killed. Thanks.
Good job, Sean. You're fired.
So can we all agree Doctor Strange knows what's going on, is going to save everybody in Avengers 4? Or is it like a bigger mystery?
I don't know. Like, I don't want to speculate on that movie because, like, I'm just gonna let it go.
I think what's going to happen. You ready?
Yes.
Oh, here we go. Yes.
All the mergers that are happening. Deadpool's going to save the day.
So that's the thing, though. They got it planned, right? They've got Phase 4 planned out. Kevin, I can't pronounce my last name properly. Feige is like, here's how it's going to go, and now all of a sudden, he's got X-Men, Deadpool, Fantastic Four, all under his control. He could totally go like Phase 4.B, 4.C, he could like add all these other elements in before like they save the world, the universe, the multiverse from Thanos. I mean, there's so much that could happen that could disrupt his plans because he's got all these other properties now. Please disrupt his plans.
Deadpool is bringing Fantastic back.
Deadpool's bringing Fantastic Four back? I don't know what happened to you.
Dude, right?
I know I told Pope C that, I mean, like, the best thing Marvel could have done to help bring the Fantastic Four back was to let Donny Cates write it.
Okay. Yeah.
Because people keep saying it's Fantastic Four to succeed because it's such a great group, and it's just a great group. But it's just like every time someone makes a fucking movie, it's horrible, and like you'll get a good storyline going, and then like somewhere down the line it hits the shit fan. And then Marvel doing that whole thing of like, well, we're not going to write any more Fantastic Four comics because you guys can't make a good fucking movie. Like, what? Like, fuck your fans. We want a good Fantastic Four movie.
Well, they did kind of do that with a lot of things, didn't they? I mean, they kind of canceled every Fox property in the comic book form, right?
Yeah.
Wolverine got killed. Fantastic Four went to Mars and never came back. Just kidding. I don't know what happened to them. I just made that up. And then, gosh, who else? Who else is Fox properties? X-23 became Wolverine just to be spiteful. I'm assuming it was some kind of weird, you're going to put her in Logan? Well, guess what? She's Wolverine now, bitches.
Skink.
Exactly.
I have to say, Miss Hustle's been very inappropriate in the chats, and I appreciate that.
Miss Hustle is one of my 83 favorite
Miss Hustle is a lady. Miss Hustle has never said anything inappropriate in a chat.
Well, she's trying. I'm encouraging it.
I just like watching my middle finger delay, like from the YouTube, from our
like slow mo.
Like I'll switch over to see the YouTube, and then I see myself going. And I'm like, yeah, I look awesome.
My phone's behind my Hangouts for sure on the computer.
I look awesome flipping the bird.
Did I show off the Howard the Duck holiday special yet?
Ooh, nice.
I didn't even know it existed.
But that one goes with this one, which is actually, I thought this was like a silly promo from like 1992, but this is actually a variant cover to the 2016 series I got for 25 cents. Pretty cool. That is
retail value $9.99.
That is the Power Rangers #1. Inside it says the ongoing adventures of Bulk and Skull. If you know those two bad guys, They're the kind of fat
Those motherfuckers.
dudes. But I mean, look at the artwork. It's so average.
It's better than what I could draw, so I can't say anything.
Well, you could say something. Come on.
Yeah, you could say, hey, if you spent a little time crafting your skill, you too can draw like that.
You guys,
if you can
with my
color on the sticky, yes.
I got the pink and yellow ranger actually, Miss Hustle. See, there she goes. She's challenged me not to look for trouble. I'm never looking for trouble. It finds me. But here's some ugly Valiant for you.
Hey, that's the beautiful foil Exo Manowar cover.
That's the shiny. And then 5, 6, and 7 are hiding, but because I had 6 and 7, I had to get 3, 4, 5, and 8. 3,
4, 5, and 8. I love that shit. I'm sorry. That sounds like years ago. Like
horrible. It's like, okay, 6 and 7, the only ones that are worth more than 2 cents, but because you're 6 and 7, you're like, look, I can complete. I will admit right now to the YouTube comic book community, I have a disease. It's completism. And it's like when I start buying some shit, I got to keep buying some stuff. And I can't stop till I get all of the stuff. No matter how crappy the stuff is, other than the one piece of the stuff that's good. I go from here to there, and in between, I can't miss anything. And it kills me, and I don't know why I do it, but it's a disease. And I hope some of you share it with me, because it'll make me feel a little bit better about all the alcohol I've been drinking tonight.
I think it was something that they put in the pages in the 90s. Especially when they try to like feed us a lot of bullshit like stuff. Like, you know, man, I have all the image number 1s and 0s and shit. Like, you know, I was so excited. I was like, image can't go wrong.
No. I have them. You don't have them. I'm the only one who has them. They're worth millions.
You mean you have like millions of the copies?
Yeah.
It's because they made millions. Not in money. They just made millions. Whoa. I saw that. Slowly ease. Want to see my cousin?
That's the after party, bro.
Like, don't touch the camera until we're off the air.
I gave you $5.
Actually, Comics says the after party. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
I do know the Comic-Holics went live for the first time tonight.
Oh,
I caught a little bit of their show.
Yeah, I saw they popped up on my notifications earlier.
I mean, it felt good that we weren't the only ones that, like, when we did our first live show, we're just like, well, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, are we live? Like, I don't know. But they did the same thing, so
I got to figure out how, like, you invited me to hang out, so I got to figure out how that works so I can invite other people, like, next time I go live. That's kind of cool.
So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take the link. You're going to copy the link since you're the host, right? When you started it. You go up and you copy where it says invite people. And you copy that link and you post it in the chat, not on the chat that we're looking at, but on the YouTube chat. So then once I post it, other people can pop in. You can hold up to 10 people, I believe, at one time.
Sounds fishy.
Sounds legit because I've done it 1,000 times. Or 12.
Look, here's my last books. You've gotten through all my piles. It's been pretty awesome. So this is nothing. It's not Infinity Gauntlet. It's not like Infinity Prime. It's Infinity, some crap they put out later on to make people buy more stuff that says Infinity. But Jim Starlin's on, and he's at Rose City Comic Con. So I absolutely decided I needed to get this so I could get him to sign it. Number 3 was a variant edition. So I was like, ooh, yay, variant edition, yay.
Variant.
And there's number 4. And I'm just going to assume this only went to issue 4 because that's all I could find.
Yeah, that's all they had.
All right.
I'm a big Thanos Adam Warlock fan. Yeah, so when that came out, I was like, hey, and I was like, oh, the story sucks.
I didn't know that stuff, but it looked pretty cool, and I can get him to sign it, and it's all. I just love meeting people that like are writers, artists, pencilers, colorists, cover artists,
Scandinavians.
yeah, Canadians, whatever. Even if they're not like on like their major work, just getting like meeting them. I'm not going to CGC it. I'm not going to slab it. I'm not going to sell it. I just like meeting them, having them sign the stuff. That's what it's about for me.
Yeah, I enjoy like conversing, I think, more than anything with people from the industry, I guess, because there's so much that goes into making a comic book, and it intrigues me, and I'm one of those people that want to know everything and how everything operates, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes they're like, you're really super inquisitive and slightly creepy. I'm like, that's rude, but tell me how I got there,
Yeah,
But
I don't care. Drinking. Talk.
what's that?
Yo, you shut the fuck up.
We've-
Talk when I ask you a question, you answer it.
We've been joined by Strictly Comics and Comics Misexplained. So, I think Strictly Comics Misexplained is kind of the theme of the show right now. It's pretty
Absolutely. Well, Jason's a great dude, and Edwin, both good dudes.
I think we have problems with pronunciation, but that's okay.
I had the pleasure of meeting Edwin earlier this year in Dallas, and then Jason from Comics Misexplained has joined us with some after party stuff a few times. So I'll post the link here in a few minutes, guys, if you want to pop in and join the after party. I'll post it here shortly before we get ready to wrap up.
All right, so I got a question for the community here. You see this one right here?
Yes.
It's 9.8, right?
Yeah.
If you look at the edge here, when they slabbed it, you can see it's overlapping here.
I see that.
Down, it's
Are you sure that's an overlap?
Well, I'm not sure. This is why I'm asking questions. Thank you. Thank you for veracity of my comments. This is what I want. This is why I'm here, dude. I might not be sure. So look at the bottom. I'll show you where to look, and then look at the top as it goes up. It looks like it overlaps here, and then across the top.
I think.
So J-Rod said I could send this back to CGC. They would recrack it and reslab it for a fee, of course. But like they have a guarantee that they won't change the grade on it. They'll just slab it better. And what do people think?
They can slab it better.
Yes.
Nice song. Well, are you sure that is it a roll, or is it one of those sheets that they put in the comics to like help absorb moisture? Because I recently got a book back from them that has, and I'm pretty sure it's just the sheet that it didn't get tucked in all the way in the book, and it was just like overhang of the sheet they put in there.
You might be right. I mean, I can't see, right? It's tough to see without the glare and stuff. It's a little bit more exposed right at the top, but that could be the sheet sticking out. And then at the bottom, it goes away, which makes me feel like the front cover is pushed over a tiny bit. But I don't know, man. It's tough. It's a tough call. And so if I do send it back to CGC, do people know for sure that they'll crack it and reslab it for a fee, but for the same grade? Guaranteed.
Well, personally, I wouldn't do it, because especially if they fucked up, like if they're the ones that if that's not the sheet that they put in there just to help with moisture, if that's your actual comic that was like turned while they pressed it, that's them fucking up your book, and you shouldn't have to pay. And you shouldn't have to pay a price to get it reslabbed because they fucked up. So, me personally, I wouldn't do it. You already have a 9.8 on it. Like, if you're happy with it being slabbed and like the way it is, then I wouldn't send it.
So, I have this comic raw, signed by Art Adams and G. Willow Wilson. I went on Amazon and I was trying to buy the color because the black and white is 1 in 100, right? A 100 incentive comic. The color is a 1 in 50. I went on Amazon and they had a picture of the 1 in 50, and I bought it for $100. And they sent me this 9.8 black and white one, which is not what I wanted, but is going for about $300-400 right now on eBay, and I paid $100 for it. So I kind of keep it like it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just my personal opinion. I mean, like, I don't know what other people in the chat would say.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, is that something that you're going to keep in your personal collection, or is that something you're trying to flip?
No, man.
I don't flip books.
Second copy, but I love Miss Marvel so much. I don't want to like get rid of this, you know?
I'm just a little worried that you're holding it next to your crotch right now.
Well, you know, I love it so much. What do you want me to do?
So kind of like,
This is a PG-13 show.
this is not the after party. This is not the after party.
Save it for 4 more minutes, man.
I don't know what to do with this. I'm just like, I got it back from CGC.
Hey, what was the grade? What was the grade?
Just this link cover to show you guys.
There's the Titans right there. There's the Titan.
Perfect. Oh my gosh. Is that the teen or the Titan?
It's both.
This is how you know it's time to go to the after party. You guys have lost your freaking minds.
Oh, I haven't even started to lose my mind.
I'm going to share the link now. We're going to wrap this live shit up. Get out of here before the pants come off.
4 hours too late.
Link is posted in the chat. You guys want to join us for the after party? Feel free to come on. Pants or no pants, we don't care.
My cousin's finally awake and trying to crawl out from underneath the table.
Thank you all for coming in tonight. I know it was a really quiet night for the chat, but we appreciate each and every one of you. Say hello, say goodbye, say whatever. And Naomi's joining us. Thank you guys. Have a great night. Thanks, Ian, for coming on with us.
You know, thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it. Am I automatically in the after party?
Are we already getting like crotch shots from other?
Yeah, Naomi's bringing the shots. Later. Have a good night.